Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here with 60andMe. Thank you so much for being here. I was just thinking today how challenging our lives are, the tough times that we're facing around the world. And I wanted to ask you, how resilient do you feel? Do you feel that you're equipped to bounce back quickly from some of the challenges that we face? Or do you think it's something that you need to develop? Well, I've got some conversation today I'd like to have with you about mastering resilience as we get a little older and how we can be mindful and in dealing with these tough times that we are facing. But I first of all want to tell you about my tea. That always helps. I'm drinking a tea this morning. It's called woman's tea, and it's got rose and lavender and I think cranberry. It's a pink tea. It's very nice. But hope you've got a juice or coffee, whatever you love, because I do want to talk to you about being resilient. I think it's a really important skill and strength to have in these difficult times that we're facing. But I want to mention to you first, our sponsor for today is Easy Spirit. Now, for 35 years, Easy Spirit has been making beautiful and comfortable shoes for women. And they've innovated their product line and have come out with some really beautiful designs. So you don't have to sacrifice style for comfort. Because Easy Spirit does believe in one thing, which is that comfort should be uncomplicated, and that it's a spirit women all around the world do share. So you can check out their products at easyspirit.com, and they make a range of sizes and different designs, and including extended widths and orthotics. And I'll be featuring some of them as we go through the next month or so. Now, I wanted to share that Easy Spirit is a sponsor of 60andMe, and encourage you to check out below the link in the description, because in that description, you will find a promo code for a 20% discount off of a purchase. So look in the description below this video. Now, resilience. You need good shoes for resilience, that's for sure. But I wanted to talk to you about an article. Sheena Sarles, one of our bloggers, wrote this article. It's a great reflection on resilience, what it is and how to encourage it and how to develop it as we get a little older. Now, I think actually as we get older, we get more resilient. And I personally feel that we've, experienced more challenges. We've seen ourselves get through them. We've actually managed to, conquer them. So I think we do practice. It's a skill. It's an art. And I think that through more experience and trusting ourselves, knowing that we've been through things, we've made it, we came up with creative ideas, that's actually going to help us build that resilience muscle. We've experienced more loss in our lives, and we've got to deal with physical challenges and maybe reduced finances, a divorce, family challenges. All these things do build that resilience muscle. Now, we have ways that we can build this resilience in ourselves and come back stronger. Just come back with a deeper and more creative way of coping with challenges as they come up. I mean, you get onto the news every day and there's breaking news about something you didn't expect. And you have to suddenly deal with that. It may affect you very directly. It may affect you indirectly. And there's several different ways that we can respond. We can just reject it or ignore it, or we can get very depressed and mope about and feel sorry that, we can't do anything about it, immerse ourselves in self-pity. This has happened. It's happened to me. I mean, it's just a very common response to something that feels challenging and tough. But Sheena says, here's some things you can do. Ways to become resilient. There's 7 ways. And I want you to listen to these and give us your feedback on them, because I think that each one of them has a unique gift. So the first thing is to be objective about it. Look at whatever that thing in front of you is, that thing that's happened that's making you feel vulnerable, and look at it objectively. Ask the tough questions. What role did you play in that situation? Now, it can be as abstract as, did you make a decision, in the past that is now causing this situation to arise? You have to kind of measure how much you can hold yourself accountable for it. I mean, resilience is not about feeling, guilty. It's about saying, that's happened. I'm not directly responsible. What I can do in the future may impact, how the direction it's going to take. But right now, I don't have to stress about it. So you can become resilient just by simply looking at the facts. The second thing is to become self-reliant. And that goes back to what I said earlier, that you then can look at how you've handled situations before. This may be slightly different in shape and form, but you got through something similar. You may have felt it was so overwhelming, especially when you were younger. You may have thought that, I'm just never going to deal with this, but you do. So be self-reliant. Know that you don't need to lean on other people to deal with your challenges. You can ask for help and you can ask for advice. That's all very important. And having communities like this, it's important. But there's a few more things here that I want you to be sure to pay attention to because they are going to be helpful. So self-reliance, providing assistance. This is where you can offer support to people. Now, it may be that there's been something happen where you can jump in and be of support in either a financial way, or you can help in a more based on your experience or your heart, where your heart connection is to that challenge or problem. And the more that others need the more that you help others with their situation, the stronger you become. And that's really so true. It's like the volunteer high that you get when you know you're helping someone in that, that situation which felt overwhelming and tough. Motivation. Find out what's motivating you to feel unhappy or vulnerable or weak about this challenging, complex situation. Develop the kind of take charge state of mind that, it's not going to be there forever. It could be something very passing that just feels so difficult to cope with. But, it's not going to be there forever. It's going to pass. And you're going to deal with it in the best way that you can. You stand up for what you believe in if it's something that you can impact. But don't feel that you have to get sucked into something that is beyond your control. Creativity is a big one too, and I'm really happy that Sheena mentioned this one because resilience is creative. It's the mother of invention, as they say. So if you've got a situation where you're surrounded by a tough situation, you can actually, come up with some unique ways of coping with it. I think that if you creatively try different things to, I'm trying to give you an example here. I was thinking about, for example, with children. I mean, I know that this is maybe not the best example, but if you've got a situation that's challenging, say that somebody wants some help financially. If you've got that situation and that's creating a vulnerability in you, why not do other things like offer to help in a different way? Or, offer to give some person a direction to help themselves. Use creativity either in your language or your actions or your how you can refer someone onto some situation that can help them. That's kind of creativity. It's like not getting sucked into, I have to do it this way. That's always been the way that I've responded to that situation. It's kind of an interesting creative way of looking at things. Another one that Sheena talks about, which I think is super funny, is humor. It's actually, the sense of humor. I mean, yes, the old expression, cry until you start laughing. Sometimes tears are important and you have to have a good cry. This is, being resilient in the face of a loss or, a loss of a job, loss of a person. That's not an overnight, transition. But you can try to do it by in most situations, seeing the humorous side of this crazy world that we live in. That it's just so irrational sometimes. I watch some of the news items and I go, is that really true? Is that they're making this up? I know, because it's so out of the realm of the ordinary. So sense of humor is actually kind of important. And sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself and the crazy situation that you might be in. So another thing though is a super important one is values. And a resilient person, I think, always does have a sense of a grounded sense of values. They know what's right and wrong in quotes for them. And if you have got that sense of groundedness, to even if what's happening is pulling at your values and it's opposed to what you feel is right, you just staying grounded in that and regulate your emotions, and focusing on optimism and the fact that things are going to find their balance. They're going to swing back. That's the way, I think, to get on with things. To take a stand, to do what you can to explain and to live your values in that crazy situation, but at the same time, be emotionally, I think she uses the word regulated. And I think that's meditation, mindfulness, where you stay really focused on, your values, your position, and that's what makes you stronger to bounce back. I think that's a really important one. We're all flawed. I mean, it doesn't matter whatever the situation is you're facing. If you're feeling like you can't cope because you're not perfect, you're not strong enough, you're not, able to deal with it, just know that, we're all weak in many ways. We've got, gaps and flaws in our personality, and we're never going to be perfectly able to bounce back if it's something that's really important to us. So just hang in there. I think that's the reality of this. Do you think, getting back to the original question, are you a resilient person? Do you bounce back quickly from things that catch you off guard and are difficult to deal with? Let us know how you deal with it. I mean, how would you have you dealt with situations where you had to be resilient? What does that mean to you? Leave your comments in the section below. I think that'd be really fascinating to get some conversation going on this topic, because I think that when things are not going our way and we feel overwhelmed, being able to just bounce back, get your bearings, move forward is really, really important. So I'd love to know if you feel you're resilient and how you express it in your life. So let's leave it at that. I would love to have this conversation. Please check out our website, 60andme.com, and read the article and leave your comments there. I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you again for all that you do for us to give us support and feedback. And have a wonderful, strong, resilient day. Take good care. Bye-bye.